Hello everyone and welcome to yet another live coding and chill. I'm your host Johnny. Delighted to be here. Hope you've had amazing weeks and you're gonna have even more amazing weekends. Today we'll be creating yet another new app. Well, couldn't help myself, so I did scaffold a brand new app based on what we've done before, but there is nothing there. This is just an empty route. We're gonna do lots of cool things today, and they're gonna pivot around or evolve around event sourcing, which is a relatively complex architectural design pattern, but I think could be the best way to solve the problem that I have, which is I want to be able to just click the agenda items when they're done and get a YouTube friendly timestamp that at the end of the stream I can just copy and paste, put in the video description, and then everyone has chapters without me needing to spend like half an hour listening to myself in 2x speed and validating that the times are correct, and then creating the timestamps and then pasting them in the description. First word YouTuber problems for sure, but I think it'd be a fun app to do and gives us a chance to work with PocketBase relations. So we've been doing quite a few streams on PocketBase back to back. I'll have a video on how to deploy PocketBase actually and how to work with it locally, and then CI/CD, do some automated action with the deployments as well. Quite soon, maybe by the next stream, by Tuesday, I'll work on it on the weekend. But I've been loving it. PocketBase has been amazing, and I keep exploring what you can do with it. On the previous live streams, specifically, we created this travel pocket blog style app where we investigated a little bit the text columns, the reads text columns, timestamp columns, that sort of thing, and in general how you could load data from PocketBase or in fact any other storage solution you may have. But for this one, you can find a link in the description for all the code and all the apps that we have if you want to click on the live projects. This one we'll be creating today. I've reskinned really when I make new apps. It's like, what's the name gonna be? What's the color scheme gonna be? And a logo for the open graph items and all of that. And we're golden. I've been flying through creating these new apps left and right. But the idea is today we will be working with collections because any user will be able to create live streams. I guess this is going to be like a streamer tool, so I can just call them live streams and not videos or something like that. And each live stream you create can have one agenda. And that agenda will have item events. I'm not sure how that would work, but that's where event sourcing comes by. That's where we'll do something different that we haven't shown in streams before. Instead of just having an array of agenda items and they have like a Boolean field of done or not done or something like that, which is the most common way to do it. If you followed how to do a to-do app tutorial, like 100% they've done it that way. All of the complicated things we've done in real apps have all been about mutating the state in the database and that's it. But with event sourcing, you do something different. We'll cover it as the show goes on. In the meantime, let me know what you're working on. Let me know if you've used event sourcing before or if you've heard of it. And I think we'll just get going. So now, like I have been for a while, I need to manually type the time here so I can more easily copy paste this on VS Code. Anyway, behind the scenes, what we will be doing, so we have this SvelteKit repo, and it has like a few routes. It has light and dark mode, like always. I love dark mode. And that's about it. Like the side nav should probably have like a home nav here. That's a free link to put into this gigantic sidebar. But we need something to show in the live streams window here. How you create a route in SvelteKit. We've shown this many times. It needs to reflect the path that the user takes to get there. So if you want live streams to resolve to something, then you need your source routes, then a live stream, that's where you want to get people to have a plus page .svelte. If this didn't exist, if this was like live streams 2, then you'd get a 404. I guess due to hot reloading, you actually get a 500 in the beginning, but in real life you'd get a 404 if you didn't have this. So let's just pretend we have this already. Something we will probably need a lot and use a lot today will be tests as well, both playwright tests and maybe even unit tests. I think today will be a prime case for unit tests because we're going to be doing event sourcing and going through events to understand what the final state of something is, what the final snapshot of something is, can be complicated. So I think unit tests will help me there. Right, so for tests, for end-to-end tests, you know that I love having a navigation smoke test. So all the important links in your app, just make sure that the users can go to. No need to check whether they can interact with like many things in them, but at the very least, make sure that they can navigate to the big ones. So you start at the home page, you see the banner, you see the title and all of that. Then instead of navigating to the about page, let's see, can they navigate to the live streams page? And find the link in the banner up top that says live streams. It's going to be your live streams at this point, that point where these tests are running actually. And then after all that happens, you should be able to go to a page that both the browser knows it's called live streams and the user knows because it has an appropriate first level heading that also helps with SEO. This one actually is the one that you want to be hidden. It helps with some flaky tests actually to wait for this to be hidden, especially on Safari. That's why I do it. Not thrilled about it. But then I want to wait for this to be hidden when I navigate to the about page. So when I run this test now, it will actually fail because even though we have this start creating button, we don't have anything in the navigation here, unlike the about. So that's what I'm gonna fix. And so in the header, desktop nav, so another one, let's call it live streams. And we can see in real life that we're good to go, but let's see if Playwright thinks the same. It does. Test, pass. So fake BDD, usually I do actually do BDD for these. What happens on mobile? I can have like a navigation mobile spec that finds the sidebar actually. Let me know if you want to see how that would work. I have a test that is also the navigation smoke test, but it cannot access all links while on the mobile view because I hide most of the links behind the sidebar. So in that test, I have to tell it, click the expand open menu button, and then from this navigation thing, actually click the live streams link. Let me know if you want to actually see how that would work, but I figure we should move on to the event sourcing bits, which will come quite a bit later. In the meantime, just make sure I can navigate there easily. Let's say, let's have like home, live streams. There's something with the hot reloading that keeps not fetching the element that I'm touching. I wonder if it's a Svelte 5 bug. Actually, it's been happening lately. We'll see. Anyway, now I can also click here and it will get me to the live streams. Amazing. Also, when you're navigating through this side nav menu, I don't play in view transitions. I think that's less confusing because you see the motion of the side nav and then this changes on the back. Maybe like a crossfade would be nice actually. If you actually navigate with the proper links, you do see beautiful Few transitions that also go back and forth if you use the keyboard shortcut or the browser back button. It looks nice. I can play with this for quite a while, but I won't. We'll be moving on with our lives to the next agenda item, which is... Oh, I did it the wrong way around. Whoops. Whoops. Had a plan. Well, at least I didn't plan to fail by not having a plan. So now, let's create the live streams connection so we can actually show all live streams. That was my plan. And then let's all live streams from PocketBase. So this is done. And now let's go to PocketBase. PocketBase is the all-in-one database and admin backend and API and more solution that I've been loving. And one of the things it gives you is this admin interface. Now we're working locally, so we're in localhost 8090. But if you deploy this to production, then you'd go to like I guess I will deploy this one on chrono-pd.fly.io if that's available. And then I'd go to the admin interface there and add records. But the whole collection management, the whole schema changes, I will be managing locally and pushing migrations to production. Migrations will be automatically generated for me. So let's see how that would actually work. Let's create a new collection, which will be live streams. Hey Milos, nice to see you today. How are you doing? And it's gonna be a normal base collection, sure. And it's gonna have a title. I'm not gonna add all the things that I add in a YouTube video, which includes like the description and rates editor and stuff. Maybe it should have a URL in the end, but it doesn't really matter. I think it will have a relation to a user, so it will belong to a single user. You can call this like streamer ID if you really want to, but there are some people that say that we overuse users like for everything, and maybe it should be more descriptive to your product. But I don't know, not sold. But if this was posts field, for example, then you could call this author quite easily. I think that would make it more obvious. So Chrono, the first thing we'll add, it will be tools for live stream creators, YouTube creators, and Twitch creators. The one thing that I really want, and I'll definitely do, is I can have the agenda items like this. And then when I click, I don't need to actually manually have the time here and then to manually go to VS Code or wherever I go to map it out to how YouTube likes the live streams to be formatted in order to do the chapter feature that you can see like a few hours after the live streams go, or maybe the next day. Then you may notice that there are chapters in live streams, and that's not by magic, it's because I do it. But that's a prime case for automation. A computer can do this much better than I. That's my hope, and that's how I will do it. Thinking about this like in the morning, I was like, this is like the to-do app that everyone is doing, having like something that adds like things you can check on and off. And I'm like, there's so much content on this. But thankfully, even before I realized that, I was thinking of doing it with event sourcing in the most complicated way possible. So there will be like a different angle. For sure. Besides solving a real problem that I have, a real first world problem that I have, hopefully the event sourcing spin will be fun and seeing me try to do it. Right, so live stream will have a title, will belong to a user, and it will have an agenda eventually, not really now. It can have like a started time, I guess, but maybe we are not really worried about that. Just thinking about it live. Does it need anything else? Like, is it live? Will it ever be live? Not really. Maybe just a title and a user ID. Let's do like a thumbnail. That's always fun. That's always fun. And any settings here, thumbnail can be empty, I guess. User ID not empty, always there. Title not empty, always there. Let's say the thumbnail is always there, because if I make this automatically sync to YouTube, so feature creeping eventually, I would love to just have this interface where I manage the description like I have here. I've put this on YouTube, and then at the end it will have the timestamps. So I guess what I'm trying to say, if I can do the rates editing instead of a Notion in an app that then I press a button and it syncs with YouTube, that'd be ideal. And if that were the case, then it would definitely need the thumbnail to exist. But that's by the by. I don't want to close the panel. Do you really want to close the panel? No, actually, no. So, thumbnail, it's going to be like this. Do I need more sizes? We went around this on the previous episode. I guess I can add the image, the allowed image types. Maybe only PNG and JPEG. Maybe I can do like WebP. Should I do all images? All common images I may have. Even hike, like I took this thumbnail on an iPhone. Probably not. SVG. Aviv, sure. Oh, Milo is saying, you like the human touch of things, but now with AI, it's like every investor is now looking at you and it's like, oh, what is going to happen here? That's exciting. AI to generate a description based on the two items. Yeah, that's great. That's definitely one of the features that I thought about. That Notion kind of does it. Like they have like a lot of ask AI or summarize this or whatever thing. But I didn't actually think of, I have the agenda and generate the description of the agenda. That's actually extremely clever. So yeah, that's gonna be like high in the feature scope creep category for sure. That's a really cool one, because I definitely plan these out. It helps me think what I need to do to prep for the episode and what may be tricky and where will I need to like refer to links and stuff. So I definitely need to do the agenda items. But then the description, it's kind of similar every time. Like you can click here to see the app. You can see the code there. And then I have my flavor. So I would write it like this. But I think most engineers like to write less than I do. They also like doing videos less than I do. So maybe it would be helpful for that sort of creator. And the big thing with AI and that sort of thing is that I am one of those people that do think that writing from scratch, like writing is hard, but editing is easy. So if you have the draft, then it's much easier to fill out what you want to say when you edit. So it would be helpful, even to me, glorious writer. All right, so enough talking about me. I think that given our lesson must be indexing these fields. They must be, no? But I'm not sure. I'm not gonna do it in any case, because I predict that you will only be able to see the live streams that you've created that are related to your user ID. In that case, an index would be fine, but we can add an index later and it's not gonna be the end of the word. So I think those three are all we need. Press create button. We've created the collection. Great. PocketBase does have this cool API preview thing where you can actually see code examples. Airtable had a similar one that's probably even cooler, but this is good enough for sure, and can be our inspiration for what we're actually gonna do in the list view. So now there are no records, but let's try to fetch them from PocketBase in our app anyway and move on to the next bit. And let's actually get it like this. We've covered pagination in other episodes and certs and all of that, so I'm not gonna do it now, but let me know if you want to see it again. In this route, how does this route, the live streams route, get its data here? It's on. It's with one of the 5 ways we've shown how to load data with SvelteKit. The one I like the most is to have a plus page of server.ts load the data. SvelteKit magic means that if you export a load method there, it will run on the server always and do whatever magic you want to do here. But what I like to do, because these like fetch requests can get quite complicated at some point, is to abstract this logic out into a repo, what I call repo. Like other people call it different things. I guess it depends on the language as well. I find that in JavaScript and TypeScript, we don't really have frameworks that do this dependency injection approach. But maybe, use it enough and people will start doing it too. In any case, I have this dependency injection handle where I want to put in a live stream repo that will have like everything related to live streams, how you can fetch them. And then I can have a PocketBase implementation that I may switch in the future. If I am like, oh, I don't want to use PocketBase anymore, I'll switch to Torso directly or something like that. So first, to help me out, let's create an interface for this. So in the repos, let's say that we have live streams repo interface, TypeScript file. And in here, let's say we export an interface, TypeScript repo interface that has find, what do they call it? Search, find, or search list. Let's call it list. Don't remember what I called it in the other app. And let's say it returns a promise of not any, but of specifically a live stream. So let's export this type as well. And we know that the live stream, single live stream, has an ID, has a title, has a no, it doesn't, thumbnail. And that's it, I guess, for now. 3 things. ID, title. I guess it has created that. I will need that. Sure, and this returns an array of live streams, all well and good. And then I can move on to the implementation. So for the implementation, let's say that we'll have live streams PocketBase repo. And I guess PocketBase is like cased here. And we want to export class live streams. Come on, autocomplete. This is the time to do it. Good. PB protected local thing will be my typed PocketBase. Let's say it's gonna be a PocketBase actually. And that's PocketBase. Can't find it, interestingly enough. And this is going to take a PocketBase instance and attach it to the instance of this class, and this needs to extend the live streams repo interface. And then, oh, it actually found this from the other code, which is quite fun. And Guess you can just return this, or what else would I do? Super must be called. Implement, sorry. So implement this, of course. And that's about it. What's PocketBase? Do you know now? No. Okay. Import type PocketBase. What's this? From PocketBase. Import type PocketBase. Sure, great. And now this knows better what this returns, but not exactly. And maybe we'll figure it out later. So let's say first is the first page. We won't worry about pagination. Just list this, and maybe what this actually returns. It's an object keyed live streams like this. Because this results list will have quite a few things. And what we actually want is the results list. Dot items, and maybe map them. And we can have an internal method like map tb live stream to live stream, and then this takes like maybe unknown, but then it's gonna be live stream like this. I can throw this up. And say type of live stream is object. Live stream is truthy and its type is object. That's a different card. Sorry. I'm trying to do like a map. It's because I need to type this actually. It does return live stream. I'll type it in a while. All we want to do is return the whole live stream, but only make created at be whatever with the structure here. And map every item through this. Which should be fine, but how do we type this without manually typing? And there is this tool that I've been using that can generate PocketBase types for you magically, which is exactly what we want. And I have this generate script here that calls PocketBase type10. PocketBase type10 is the name of the thing. This thing, and it has a few ways where you can actually do the type generation. Since we are in a monorepo that also includes the PocketBase that I'm running locally, I can just point it to the pbdata directory of file there, specifically the database itself, I suppose, and then it will figure out the types for us. But you can point it into an exported schema, which you can go to the UI and export it. No one wants to do that. Or you can actually point it to your PocketBase instance, so maybe the production PocketBase instance. However, you will need to generate like a secret email potentially, and definitely a secret password, because you'll want to run this here, and you cannot hard code the password, your admin password here. That would be bad. So I'm not sure what's the best way to do this, but I like this one where I just run this tool, I point it to the database in the other part of this monorepo, and then it creates this auto-generated, clearly auto-generated because it's in my generated folder, and then runs prettier on it to boot. So let's see if this actually works. Run generate. It did something, which does mean generates this huge PocketBase types. I always appreciate it when at the top there's a comment saying that it's auto-generated and don't touch it. And it knows that we have a live stream collection and a users collection. So we can actually say that PocketBase is actually a typed PocketBase here. Don't need this anymore. And then this will know that I only have two collections for now, live streams and users. That's pretty neat. And also it has like an enum that you can use, collections, live streams, if you really want to. Not thrilled about that. And then it knows a bit better what the list result looks like, but also I can actually get the live stream object, the live streams record here, which for some reason it doesn't automatically extend a regular record. So I'm not sure about that. Not sure of the best way to do this, but I think it's going to be live streams response. Oh, that's it. Good. Why does it not have created up? Created. It's because it's created. Great. So maybe I didn't even need to map it at all. I could have just let it be. Should I just let it be? I guess so. So just return the live streams, I guess. But if I don't do this and I just return the items, this is going to be upset because there is no created at, I imagine. Yeah, so create that is missing. Great. So if I actually call this created, then it's going to be happy. So it depends, but it's cool that it can catch an error like that. The UI can use this, like even if you don't need to map anything, you know what this gets out. Right, so this is going to work. Let's start hooking things up. In my dependency injection handle, I need to create a new PocketBase, and you will see that even on the admin interface, it has the API preview. Here's how you can create a PocketBase connection, like import PocketBase to the new PocketBase instance, all of that. All of that good stuff. Will it know? It doesn't. Cool. And if I want this to be the type PocketBase, I can ask to here as PocketBase and bring in the auto-generated stuff that we've created. I think that's pretty neat. And of course, I don't want this to always talk to the localhost PocketBase. I want this to talk to a specific PocketBase. And what do I have? I have a PB API URL. Which is actually the PB URL because it doesn't have /API in the end. Anyway, this PocketBase is the thing that I'm gonna pass to the live streams repo. Let's get locals. Here, but also I need to go to my upload to TS to explain that I've done my dependency injection thing. In here, I have something that implements the live streams repo interface. Cool. If you really want to, you can even say that the live streams repo is actually the live streams PocketBase repo, and then when you click, you go into that class directly instead of the interface. Up to you. And then if you do switch to a different implementation with Turso, you just go here and you will switch around which one you need to use. So maybe that's a good idea actually. But not sure, I'll do it like this. Cool. So in this case here, instead of doing this, from the locals, live streams are gonna be something that I await from locals, live streams repo list indeed, and return this to the UI. Whoa, that didn't work. Only admins can perform this action because I haven't given privileges to everyone to do the list search. I guess in real life, I should only give list search and view access to the user with the user ID that appears in the record. But for now, let's make the API rule unlock. Like everyone can do this. Everyone can do this. And we'll see. Let's say everyone can do this for now. So now should be no error. Great. Insecure, again, I should have a rule there that says only bring the ones that this logged in user ID does, but I'm only running this locally for now, so there is no login flow, so I'm not a real user. But this does mean that I can go to the UI in live streams and do a classic it's data live streams. It's live stream. I don't know what it wants me to do here, but make sure we have data from props magically given. That should be a thing. In the server, TypeScript saves me yet again. I need to destructure this here. Great. So now this is happy, and I can have an unordered list. And inside that list, I have like a, yeah, just this, why not? Maybe not, actually. Yeah, live stream title sounds good. How big should this be? How big should the card be? I am John. Hello. I guess we have the same name. Thanks for dropping by. Ah, Ian M. John. So maybe not. Sorry. Apologies if I called you John when I shouldn't. And your name is actually Ian, or maybe unrelated. Hello, in any case. So let's say that these are H2s and use the live stream title. And yeah, no hrefs for now. Let's just see some live stream titles, which we won't because we don't have any live streams created. Your name is John too. I guessed correctly. Nice. Always nice to see another Johnny. In Greece, where I'm from, 50% of males have the name of Ioannis or Yannis or Johnny, named after Saint John. So in Greece, it's very, very common. Although very few people choose to be called Johnny, or their parents choose to call them Johnny. Anyway, I think, let's see how we can create a live stream in the PocketBase UI. This could be fast unless we start styling things. So the thing I like about PocketBase is how easily you can add records. So you can have an admin, like you can play around and figure out the schema locally and then push things to production and then give your client an admin account and then they can do everything. So let's see, ID, do anything. The name of this, let's say that it's this. Why not? User ID. Oh, we don't have a user. We need to create a new user. So let's say that the username is Tim Agrippis and the email is this one, and the password just generate and use one. Doesn't matter, it's local data. Should be longer. Let's paste it twice and never see it again. You wish PocketBase had Postgres support. Yeah, Postgres can do quite a lot of cool things, but I've been very impressed with SQLite for like maybe the past half year, actually, when it started getting back into the forefront, or it started trending upwards. I remember like maybe 10 years ago, I was using SQLite for fast tests. So in real life, we'd have Postgres or MySQL database, but for tests would be spinning up an SQLite database with the same migrations, because most of the features would be supported, just to run the more like unit or integration tests locally fast. But recently, like I figured that SQLite is good enough for apps on your phone, for example. So it's like maybe like there is more here than I suspected. So even Postgres can still be huge, especially if you're doing PG vector stuff, if you're doing geolocation stuff, some really good things there. But SQLite, for especially for an app like this, it's golden. And I think for the most like CMS light apps that you may want to create, so client wants a marketing page, a portfolio, maybe just some SOP items and stuff, I think you can get away with SQLite, and therefore with PocketBase as well. But of course, if you could switch, like if you could pick an adapter, that would be even better. Give you the flexibility to use it if you want. So this guy is verified. This guy is me. Let's create this guy and assign it. Assign the live stream to them. Them being me. John in the chat says you are running a PocketBase app with 10 gigabytes of customer data. And SQLite works well, so can it handle that amount of data fine? That's the big question. I'd guess yes. I guess it depends on what you're doing on with the data as well. Right, so where I'm going, streams, thumbs, 2024, we have a lot. Paste this one in. And create this record. And with this record created, then we should see it here. Here we go. Cool. And let's see how we can show the image. We saw this last time as well. But first, let's see, is there like any typography here that I like? I guess this one kinda, but not really. Not sure. I think I'm using, like, we can just use the subtitle here that I have. No need for this. No need for a border. And maybe switch this out like a card. Maybe we can do the image quickly without thumbnails. But that's not exactly the thumbnail. That's why I wanted the mapping. Hello, video in the chat. How are you doing? That's why I wanted the mapping. Now we know. Right, map. So I saw this in a different way, probably not. You can even have it as an export as map. TV live stream. Live stream. PB live stream is gonna be recorded result, live streams response. And then gonna use everything from here, but take out the thumbnail because that one we need to prefix, and I guess that's why I didn't do it like that in the previous instances. I'm remembering why now. It's because this PocketBase will have a helper method to help us get the file path actually. So we want to spread this PB live stream. Great. But thumbnail, we want this PB get file URL, and then you can give this the whole record. You only need the ID here, I imagine. And the file name is gonna be the thumbnail. And I think that will make it work. Let's see. Almost. No. You need to use it. So map every item to this map PB live stream to live stream. There you go. Bang. As Curry would say. Or Breen when Curry hits a 3. Any NBA fans? Basketball fans? Like, speaking of Greece, the basketball is very big in Greece, for sure. And let's do a classic grid here. And maybe say SM colspan 3. Thank you. I appreciate this. All right. So this is actually grid calls 3, right? On this part. The hot reloading isn't really reloaded for me, is it? Let's try again. Failed load config from Vite, you say? Whoops. We stumble upon like a critical failure here. What's happening? Should we do the classic? The classic being remove not modules and try again. We've been using Svelte 5 for ages, but and the previous live stream it was working 5, and yesterday on my prep it was no, on the previous live stream it was doing something weird with refreshing the with the hot reloading, as you say, and today it's doing this thing. But the classic nuclear option of deleting not modules worked. Let's see. The answer is maybe. The answer is maybe. All right, let's see if this will actually grow. All right, it seems like it updated. And yeah, node modules is leading modules is to JavaScript engineers is what turned often back on again is to regular people, isn't it? All right, so another small thing here. Again, it didn't update, so not thrilled about that, but oh well, what can you do? Sometimes it updates, sometimes it doesn't update. And I don't think it's just Tailwind classes. Yeah, so now I just deleted this image and it's not hot reloading. Interesting. Anyway, we created one, it appears. Maybe this needs to be a different color. Too much red. And for that, do I need to put the class name next? I guess so. And then it will overwrite it. Okay. Is this hard? Like, why is this one suddenly white? Doesn't matter. Let's keep going. So we have this one live stream we've created manually in the UI, in the admin UI that PocketBase has. Great, looks beautiful. We did do like some thumbnail trickery on the previous live stream that I don't think you want me to do again. Like for retina resolutions and stuff, like specifying the PocketBase thumbnails, or maybe we need to reestablish our learnings, but not sure. I could do it. I'm not gonna do it. Let's move on to the new stuff for today. So we created this. Let's go to the detail view. Let's do this one next. The question may be, how do you test this? So with mock, it's not even mock service worker. Since PocketBase is using SQLite and you can easily spin it up locally, we could be creating a new PocketBase instance, which, much like the production PocketBase, reads the migrations from our migrations directory and potentially runs a few scripts. So our end-to-end, not our end-to-end tests, our integration tests could be spinning up that local PocketBase and then running every migration normally, but also an extra migration for hard-coded data, like creating the Playwright user and adding some live streams for the Playwright user. And then you are in control of what the Playwright user has created and how many live streams they have. So you can have tests that saying, oh, the Playwright user, I'm going into the live streams page. I see 10 live streams, and 7 of them are in the past, and 3 of them are in the future. And I click the second one, and you know that it has to be this because it's ordered by when they were created, which we should have done, by the way. But that would be a great way to like integration test without having like a test user in production that creates live streams all the time, having Playwright do that in production. Maybe you don't want to do, that's something you'd be paying for more. You would have more data than you need to in production. I've been to places that were doing this, which is great for confidence, but if you don't have the cleanup operation, if you forget about this, then suddenly like you have too much data and you're wondering why the costs are so high. Anyway, just a thing to say that we may look into doing that sort of integration test in the future. We may. The thing we want to do now is to be able to click here and actually go to the detail view of this card. And I'm looking at it like this because I'm thinking like, is the thumbnail too big? I don't know. But I do know that even YouTube has rounded the thumbnails. So let's do that. Right, so the goal is I click on any one of these and I should make it to the detail page. And I was thinking of writing a test first, that's why I did the test interlude, but I will not. For this episode, what I will do is change this to an 8 tag with an href, to slash live stream, and then the ID of the live stream. And then clicking anywhere here should give me the Mickey Mouse hand on desktop and cannot unsee. And then if I click, I should go to this route, which we haven't implemented, which we will. So to capture a parameter like this, I guess we can take inspiration from the live streams page and say that we'll have the live stream directory. We need this, and then we have this, but we cannot create hard-coded pages for every ID that will ever exist. Or can we, if we actually capture this part as a route parameter? And the way you do that with SvelteKit is you surround by brackets. So how you want to capture the parameter, ID or slug or whatever, put it within brackets and SvelteKit will capture it for you. This is awesome. And in here, we don't want to list all of them. Oh, Bide says that you don't even need to do the template literal. Is that true? Surely not. Surely that's fake news. But I will try it. Let's just make this a bit different. Let's just call it like live stream and so nothing, I guess. For now, just for it to look different. So now, like pre-rendered. Okay, so now this works. Did I understand correctly? Is the claim that we can do this? I guess, but yeah, I understand. It's SvelteKit, and in SvelteKit, the moment you start the bracket, then it's gonna evaluate it and run it. Great. All right. So not fake news, very real news. Just that I was wrong. Awesome. Yeah. So like in regular JavaScript, I guess. I was like, you can't magically do like data live streams ID here. That's gonna literally be the string, like data dot whatever. Like you need to specify that this is something to evaluate. This is a reference to something to evaluate. And if you just do the brackets, that's not how strings work. Maybe in PHP this would work, but not here. And the way you do it is like with template strings, with the backticks. But in the SvelteKit templates, you're very right, Bide. It will look for wherever you have the brackets anyway, so it works. Like the same concept as this, I suppose. Cool. Wow. Like, and doing the backticks on this keyboard is actually kind of tricky. It's like I need to tap quite a few things together. So this is gonna save like so much time. I do it all the time. So cool. In this one, we want that's the one. We want to find the one live stream. So that's the thing we'll implement next in our interface. We want this thing to be able to find by ID, which is going to be a string, not a slug. And it's going to return the live stream or null. Live stream or null. Great. So now if we go to the PocketBase implementation, it's going to be complaining. My dog is being extra cute. Hello. Sleeping peacefully, belly up, showing trust. So in here, you see this is underlined that you aren't implementing the repo correctly, completely. And to do that, you can see on the API preview, now since we're not doing slugs or anything, we can use the get one method with the record ID, which is the ID we're capturing. So that's the trick that we want. So in here, let's create and sync. I do like making these all like fat arrow methods, actually. Cool. So find, it's gonna be this. And it's gonna be this PB. Get one, we're gonna use the ID there, and we're not gonna expand anything, at least not now. And we're gonna, this, yes, that's correct. Are we gonna return result? So this is gonna be just the item, I suppose, or null. We can use collections live streams in here. Don't forget to await it, fellas. Okay, so now the result is the live stream's response like before, kind of like before, like every item here. This thing also has the total count, which is very handy, very often. Yeah, I think that's it for the implementation. We can go to the ID server load method, and in here, instead of listing, we can get the params of this route. SvelteKit magically knows its ID and pass it here, and then the live stream is going to be this, and then we can return the live stream. But if no live stream, we can error 404 on this one. I need to do the template literal. This not found. Let's bring it from SvelteKit. Cool. So here the page title can actually be data live stream title. Oh, huge. Cool, I guess. Pasted this. Was this much bigger before, or is it just me? Anyway, don't worry about it too much. We have the title. I think that's it. Do we want to show the image again? Maybe. Probably not. Do we want a button to go back? We probably want this to grow. So yeah, you actually want a few things. Grow. Flex call. After you grow too. All right, so just grow here. Great. Anything else we may need? From here, you go here. We could do transitions at some other time. But we can go on to doing the agendas and the event source and stuff. So maybe let's reformat stuff just in case and commit stuff, and we'll move on. So may need to sneeze. So you'll see that us messing around with the live streams collection and updating the live streams afterward has created two migrations. If you don't like that, then you can actually like manually change a few things here, like copy the things you don't like here and or you like from here and paste them here, and then delete this one and then run migration history if you want to have like fewer migrations in this directory. But it doesn't matter that much. But it's a cool thing you can do, so it is handy to have the PocketBase running locally. Because if I was like for every field, oh now I want to make this null, now I want to stop it from being null, like if I'm twiggling with too many things and it's like a million migrations, then it could get annoying. Actually, so squeezing them to one could be a good idea. And I guess for the live streams, for example, if I had remembered to add the rules from the beginning, then I would just add empty rules for list and view here. So all you need here is just add these two rules. Maybe I should just do it actually. And the collection is the thing. Ah, there you go. List rule, plonk. View rule, plonk. And then you just save it, and then the role in this pack is dropping the collection we've just created. Fair enough. And then therefore you don't need this, and there is something you can run called migration sync, which will clean up your pocket bases, your local pocket bases, since I'm running it against the local one. It's secret migration stable. It's gonna pretend that only the ones that appear here exist, which is true. So let's run this. Run pb migrations sync. Not quite. aggression sync. It is correct, but it's not on the web app, is it? It's on the PocketBase app. So run it here. Sure. You also get like a Docker spam unrelated to PocketBase. PocketBase. It's not PocketBase's fault this happened. Every time you execute something on Docker, you have a chance of being spammed nowadays. Oh well. Right, run aside. Do I actually want the image here? It may be easy to add actually, so let's do it. Let's just do it. Cool. So the next thing would be to add the agenda. So we're actually starting this now. Maybe. Event sourcing overview, are we feeling it? All right, event sourcing overview. In all the streams that we've done, and most of my engineering life, really, usually to update records, I mutate them. I have a database table like this live streams table, and then when I'm like, I want to update the title, you go into the database, you update the title column with a new value, and that's it. And that's fine, that's great, that's amazing, works in 99% of the cases, and like maybe 100% of the cases. But one of the drawbacks of this is that then your PM, like 3 months later, 9 sprints later, says, how many times have people updated the title of their live stream? Or how many can we undo functionality to the title? So as they update it, then they can undo, or they can see a history of their own titles, maybe map them to how well the video was performing according to the title. And then you're like, first of all, I don't know what this title ever was before. We only have the latest state here. And you're like, well, if you really want to track these things, then we'll set up an analytic solution where we're sending an event and saying user updated title. And if you really want, you can have the payload to say that it updated from this to that, that's a new title, and track that one instance of this is updated. But then running your aggregations will still be quite tricky, doing the more advanced graphs where you need to correlate the title of the live stream in this instance to how it was performing is also going to be trickier. It's solvable, but it's not, I have this number, like they've updated it a million times and these are the titles they use. They actually were just flipping around these 4 instances. If you were doing event sourcing, then you'd be able to answer like that and you'd be awesome. Because the idea of event sourcing is instead of storing only the latest state of any record. So in this case, a live stream, but we won't use event sourcing for the live stream itself. But just to make the example, instead of just saying that a live stream has a title and its title is this, and then when you update it, you just override the previous title with the current title that you want. You have events. You have like a create live stream event or update live stream event. And you only store those events. And in order to understand what the current title is, you need to play all those events and end up at the current state of a live stream, which is it was created, then the title was updated, then the thumbnail was updated, then the title again, then the thumbnail, title, 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 and the final value that you see today is this. which sounds like a lot of work. Sometimes when too many events have happened, this is a lot of work that needs to be solved in a different way. But it does give you that flexibility to see, oh, actually, they've updated the title this many times. We use this event for this. You can search for it and you can find that they've updated the title for this live stream 15 times, for that one 7 times. This one, they never updated. If you actually want to see the titles that will flip around, you can see them. They're not lost in history. This is super helpful for statistics and analytics, for the things that you can't predict in advance that you really want to track this and you really want. PMs can love this. And for offering undo functionality to the user, an easier way to be able to just click a button and undo an action. You can either send a new event to say, undo that one event, cancel, annul that event, or you can mark an existing event annulled as undone or something like that, which feels like a bit against event sourcing. Anyway, that's the main logic behind event sourcing. You aren't storing the latest snapshot of what the data is and only that, but you're sourcing all the events that were needed in order to get to this final state. And if you want the final state, you need to replay them. And because that process can be quite intensive, sometimes you do store actually the final snapshot of what the state is now, or you decide if it's a month in the past, then I just flatten the state, all the events so far, and say that we start building what this record should be like from that snapshot from last month, plus all the events that have happened since. So storage can be an issue. With event sourcing, the time it takes to calculate the event can be an issue. Let's see if we can use them to do our little like to-do app type of thing. But it would be cool in our case, because a part of it is that I want to be able to say, oh, I did click this and then uncheck this, check and uncheck around that time, the specific time I checked and unchecked things. When I update an agent item, maybe I want to see this. Maybe I want to say, you know, maybe I want to have a pop-up saying Johnny changed his mind about what he was working on and create a new agent item, a new timestamp, I guess, there. I don't know. But exactly because I don't have a concrete idea of what I want to store in the timestamps, event sourcing can be great because I can just store everything and then decide how I'm going to use them. All right, so that's like a bit of an overview of event sourcing. I also asked ChatGPT, because it's been a while since I've used event sourcing in production, and in classic ChatGPT fashion, it was like so complicated for no real reason. And I needed to tell it, listen, man, this is too complicated. Like what I wanted was like an ID and payload table. Like, can you do it like this? It started talking about data attribute actually, and then I had to tell it, isn't payload like the more common column name? Give me common standard column names, so when people see the code, they can understand what we're doing. They're more likely to have encountered before. So ChatGPT is kind of right that sometimes you want to version your universe sourcing system. Sometimes you have a need for extra metadata. That aggregate IDs, like you'd never use that. Come on, let's be real. But it can make a case, like somewhere on the internet it has read that some of these solutions were implemented. But for the simple thing that I want to do, I do think that just a payload and a timestamp could be enough. We'll see. We will see. And then like, what are some famous examples of event sourcing architecture? And ChatGPT does claim that, what was the big one? Like Vodafone Riot Games for League of Legends. I was surprised to see that League of Legends are event sourced. Like I'd need to double check that, because if that's true, that's huge. And LinkedIn, famously bad chat system, but it's built on event sourcing. Why would you event source your messaging system? I'm not sure. But it does allow you to edit messages, I guess, and you want to see the previous thing that that spam recruiter sent you. Anyway, that's my quick event sourcing interlude. Let's see if we can actually do event sourcing for this, I'm thinking of attaching an agendas collection, like each live stream has an agenda, and maybe each agenda has many agenda item events. I'm not sure. Let's commit to this timestamp here and see how we're feeling. So on the live streams table, I want nothing. I definitely want a new collection of agenda. And did I commit what we have? Sorry, I had feature. Sorry. So far we've done live streams. We've created a live streams collection with list to detail routes. Commit everything. And we want an agendas collection, which each agenda will belong to one live stream. And then, will the agenda have a start time or will the live stream have a start time? I'm not sure. Is this just the agenda items? PocketBase has the JSON field where you can put whatever. And I'm thinking that either here, you'd have the item events, and that's the thing that actually builds the to-do thing. This is where we're doing the event sourcing stuff. All the events are sourced here, and we'll see events like created item, updated item, status, or name, or either, I guess. And we build up what the items for this agenda should be. But I'm trying to think, what else would we want for the agenda specifically? Maybe nothing. The agenda will definitely belong to a live stream. So that's for sure. Agenda table, probably. We want our lesson to live streams. Single one has to be non-empty. If you delete the live stream, delete all its items. Great. And then my question is, one of my questions is, can you delete this ever? I guess from here. Okay. So this is going to be the live stream ID. And then I'm thinking, is this just going to be the item events and that's it? Maybe. We could also have the start offset, because the timestamps should be related to some event in a time, not the Epoch Linux timestamp. But would that live in the agenda, or would that live in the live stream or nowhere else? Is there anything else in the agenda that I would want? Probably not. So maybe just making this be in the agendas is fine. The other thing here is I could have instead live stream item events, I guess, collection instead, and each one belongs to a live stream, and each event just has a payload instead of this being an array of events. And I'm not sure if that would be better or worse. Because then maybe that's what I want. Maybe that's more classic event sourcing, actually. But then would I want to attach its live stream event? to this agenda collection, or do I just want to attach it to a live stream? But then starting a live stream could be an item event. So yeah, this is some architectural thinking live. Live stream events, have that one. They are attached to a live stream. And all they do have a created, which is fine. And they have a JSON field for payload. It's maybe it's empty, I suppose. And that's it. We could try that. Let's try live stream agenda events collection. Let's call it like that. It belongs to live stream and it has a payload and already has ID created and updated fields because that's how PocketBase rolls. Each event could have a type, which could be in the payload. That's one way to do this. Or it could be a specific column, so maybe you can index it a bit better. But I guess we won't do that. I've heard of event sourcing as the way to avoid migrations. Someone was saying that everyone hates migrations. Why do we have them? And the answer is, well, actually, like with event sourcing, like all you have is like an ID and then the payload, and then you have this JSON object that can be whatever. So you never need migrations, which is interesting, to put it mildly. Right, so is this what I want to commit to? I guess so. Let's try it and see how we roll. Live stream agenda events. Create this one. API rules. Let's say that everyone can see them, view them, create them, but not update or delete them. And now we can actually expand them when we're querying this. I imagine. But how? So you get the post and you can say expand. Can you say it from that side? Actually. So the relation field is not in main collection, of course. We could say that a live stream has many events, but would we need to reflect that here? It's like one live stream has many events, so it's a classic one-to-many thing. But we would need in real life to specify that we have like a multiple collection of this. Right? This feels like we're double writing something that shouldn't be written like this. But if you don't want to export it, then what do you want to do? When we're getting this, we can do the other field, the other collection, via post. Okay. Right, so this has many tags, and here nothing is appearing actually. It doesn't appear that these belong to a post. I guess that's like a many to many. So a post can have many tags, and tags can belong to many posts, which is not our use case. In our case, a post, a live stream can have many events. So that's fine. So how do you get the comments? I guess it's from the other way around. Yeah, that would make it easier, wouldn't it? Okay, so I'm thinking now that the live streams repo, when you find one, you actually get it in a different way. We need to run our typezen tool again. And it will know that we can actually query the Metadata events. But then we cannot get it by ID anymore, actually. So yeah, maybe I just want this one. I can do like a filter, but that doesn't sound fun. So from the posts, if you have post, it says. And it's just an option here in git list or whatever. Let's see. Expand. Must be a string. And oh, should I not have named this livestream ID? Yeah, because it's not the livestream ID. It's the livestream. It's the whole collection. All right, let's see, can we actually drop this? Copy this, copy, delete. Delete collection due to existing dependency. To what? it. Must change this. Cannot update collection. Whoops. Yeah, I guess I could start from scratch, but I don't particularly want to do that. Anyway, this still works. I guess it would need to be the ugly way to do this. This is what I call live streams here. So I realized that I shouldn't call this via live stream ID. I should have called it live stream, live stream. Because this is not an ID column, it represents the whole relation. Interesting. And then this would be the whole name of this table, which I should have just called agenda events while we're at it. Let's see if it works. It returns nothing. But maybe if it had an event, it would create something. So let's try to see if that works. HRM, I guess, hello Mike in the chat, how are you doing? If you mean hot module reloading, yeah, it's been kind of flaky today, actually. Has it been flaky for you too? So let's attach this one. Let's say that the payload is like an event of type create to do item. And name will be default meals item. And it's like that's not JSON, but that's JSON. Happy. So let's create that. I've definitely worked this. Wow. Admin sign in. What did I use for this? What's my workaround? You have to reload. Yeah, I think that's the workaround for me for now. I just work like it's 2014 again, unfortunately. Right, so can I add this? No. And the question is why? Let's go back to the. So my real workaround, if that's annoying, you go back to a version of Svelte and Vite where that wasn't happening. Like the check one from like 2 weeks ago and just pin to that one until it gets resolved. Sadly, it is very annoying. So stop that thing. Delete that thing. Delete all the data, I guess. You hate to see it. Now, if I build the image again and run it, let's see where we get. So this one won't work. We need to create a new one. Let's go again. My local one, it's always something I can easily do. Like, you may be able to guess what it is. Sometimes I missing the point doing it like this. Well, don't do this in production. Create a new user. Doesn't really matter. Password again. Sure, use that one. Live stream. Create a new one. User is gonna be this guy. And we can drag and drop again this one. Create. And right, so two options here. We could make this. No, we need this thing. So let's create an agenda items table that only has a JSON field for payload, could be null, but also has a lesson to a live stream, but I actually call it live stream now, not live stream ID, because that better represents what this thing wants me to do. Cascade delete, sure. And that's it. Create. Good. And now, thing is, call it agenda items, not agenda events, sadly. And I didn't make this. Does PocketBase have an SQL editor like Superbase? I don't know. I think it's highly likely. So you can write kinda like SQL in the PB migrations that are gonna run sequentially, or PB hooks. So you could run SQLite queries inside those for sure. But if your question is, do they have something here where you can just run some SQL? Have a look. What did I want to do here? I wanted to say that this collection actually can list, create view for everyone. That doesn't exist anymore. This one should exist. Great. And my question is, if I were to add something here belonging to this live stream, would I be able to create it? I can. Great. So when I fetch it now, what happens? Besides flipping out. Wow. It has an expand object, which is fair enough. But is that why it's not crashing? Reading next sibling. What? Live stream's fine. You get here fine. You try to load from there. Not that fine. Yeah, a bit of a buggy version we've got here, unfortunately. Does it have remote procedure calls? SQLite doesn't have remote procedure calls, I don't think. No, not really. Like I guess this is like an extra packet that you can run. You say I use drizzle conduct transactions, not in this one, not transactions on this one. So no remote procedurals calls for PocketBase because it's running on SQLite without an extra packets like this. But you can actually do quite a lot of cool things with PocketBase, like even console commands. That's kind of crazy. But what's the related section? This one? Not sending HTTP requests. There's some events. Routing. So yeah, so you can actually expose like a little API from directly your PocketBase server. So in theory, you could have, instead of writing a remote procedure call as you would in somewhere you run Postgres, then you could have a little route in your PocketBase app to say that when you hit it, you actually do this complicated SQL. Because this one would have access to the database. So that's how you could recreate that functionality. So instead of your SvelteKit app having a complicated call here, you could say, all right, SvelteKit app just hits this PocketBase route, and then this is the thing that does the complicated procedure that you want. That's a way I could see this going for you. Yeah. Yeah, bigger here. All right. And it does have triggers and the events and all of these things to do stuff while when something happens in response to something happening. And it has views. So if what you want to do is get a different view of what your table looks like, you can use a view for that. You're welcome. So it has like quite a few complicated things you can do here. Anyway, what am I trying to do? One of the things I'm trying to do is, well, first of all, these at send items, let's say that the payload is actually type. Thing you shouldn't do, update an event. Create item, and the payload will be the title. And send a breakdown. What are we doing today? So that one is fine. When the server hits it, it loads it, but it gets overwhelmed for a reason. So is it because of this expand object? I don't know. But on our mapper, maybe that would help. Instead of doing this, we can get an expand and say expand is unknown, it says. Let's generate harder. Expand can be anything, but I don't know how to specify it here that it's actually something. T expand. So maybe here. I can say that sometimes it expands the agenda item. So TS Sodin, he insanely made a 60 FPS Doom game with just 2D canvas. I imagine JS can be so fast for game dev. Yeah, canvas is super fast. Canvas is often used for things like that, or animations as well. And hey, Doom, you know, ingenious game, legendary game devs behind it, but it's pretty old right now. So it's a bit of same if JavaScript itself cannot render Doom. I think there was a hackathon, a Svelte hackathon, and someone created Doom there. I wonder if that's a project you're looking for. I wonder if that one is TS Odin. So what do we want here? Can I just pass an agenda item? I think so. I think it was for like a Svelte showcase or something, and someone insanely like that. I heard it on Svelte Radio ages ago, where they appeared. So I'm pretty sure it happened. That's gonna be it. Doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel right. So the moment I do the expand, this flips out, right? Wrong. So no expand and this flips out. Interesting. So what am I doing here? What am I doing here? Real thing, the real thing. Is it the fine? Is it the get one? It's really, I can find it. List in view is fine. Anyone can see them. So we do make it. And for this one, API rules, list, view, create, update, delete is fine. So it should be fine. If I delete this, make sure that the record is not part of a required lesson reference, it says here. Interesting. So what magic is it doing here? Let's look at the migration. What did the migration create? So we created this new collection, which is the agenda items ones, and it has a relation to a live stream. I'm saying cascade delete, but maybe that's the thing. That's not what I expect. Could it be? It's a required lesson referring to this collection ID, which is the live streams collection. It says cascade delete. If you delete that one, then do it. And min select should be one, I guess. Just always have one. It's required. Why can I not delete it? Required lesson reference. From this side, this thing doesn't know about agenda items. What else could it be? I said that this cascade delete. If the live stream gets deleted, this should be deleted too, which is fine. But yeah, not sure. Like this won't be able to happen, I'm sure. So yeah, I think I'm a bit stuck for today. I think we may need to pivot to something else, and I'll need to do the timestamps offline in the boring way, like everyone does, to do items here. Just it's live stream as a boring relation of agenda items, not event sourcing or anything like that. Whoops, false advertising in the end. Hopefully we've shown something interesting today. What else could I do? Because it seems that the relation is glitchy, like I may have done something funky, but I think it's not that crazy what I'm trying to do. So it's one of these, like even if this was just a string, like even if this was something like a regular to-do item, that instead of the crazy payload that I want this to be event source or whatever, that just had the label and the boolean value for checked or is checked or whatever, done is done, whatever, then like it feels like this relation is the thing that's gonna mess it up. Presentable. And I'm adding it in the UI, so it can't be that an update rule is messing things up. Surely. I haven't tried to update anything elsewhere, and I have an admin access here, so I'm not sure. Yeah, this collection, the moment I add it, it's like it's not having it. Doesn't like it at all. And these things that we've created, like the previous migrations, like we didn't do anything crazy here. We did squish this list and view role here from the two migrations that were created, but I don't think that changed anything. It feels like that's the same thing. So yeah, not sure what crazy thing is happening here, but it feels like relations are a bit glitched for me. Like the glitched SvelteKit or Vite glitched the PocketBase for this one. They're like a PocketBase update. 2217, I think that's the one we have. Yeah, 2217, sadly. So a version upgrade is not gonna save me today. Whoops. Yeah, I guess we showed the TypeScript generation. That's always cool. That could be kind of valuable. But I think we'll need to bail this lovely Friday. Oops, I also deleted my git ignore here. I need this. Yeah, because everything but the git ignored should be ignored, actually. So yeah, and those relations, should I do like one more? Why not? Let's try one more. Let's actually try a couple things. Stop the Docker and remove the Docker elements. And delete everything here. Besides, ignore. And the migrations. Ooh. Was this deleted? Shouldn't have been. Just want this gone. Good. Then build the image again. Then dev mode again. Then that's the thing. That's correct because we don't have live streams. Let's go to the admin UI again. Let's add some stuff here. Let's go through my keyboard for 10 characters. Let's create a live stream. Let's add the user. Create a user. From the picker, you can create a new user here. Great. It doesn't matter anyway. Create this. Good. Set them. Thumbnail. Drag and drop them. Plonk. Create it. Great. And now one more attempt at this. Can we see it here? Yes, we can. Can we go to the detail? No. So that's the weird problem here. A resource wasn't found. A resource wasn't found, it says. Is it true? Maybe it's from before where I was on different page. I guess it's expand now. So yeah, nothing to worry about too much. No expand, no nothing. Not a real thing. Expand, not a real thing. Generate again. And I try to go to this page and it crashes with nothing because something in the UI is happening, and this is like very suspicious. It could be like a Svelte problem actually. All I want is to render this. All I want in life is to render this thing. And this gets back the live stream, right? So if I console table the live stream, this makes it here. But then, like some rendering error in the UI messes things up. So here, if I had nothing, hello. Yeah, something weird is going on. So it's trying to like append children. What is it? Could it be like the Satsien portal? No. Why does it happen only in this page? I don't know. What else could it be? Like every other page, error pages, normal pages, they work fine. This page, when you're on the client-side router, you get there, good. But when you're from the server and you go there, not good. So if I made live stream return this, then it still doesn't work. So it's not like we're passing weird data there. Re-render, is that thing? We don't want to pre-render this one. No pre-rendering, please. Don't pre-render this one either. So that pre-render could have been something embarrassing, but looks like that's not the problem. So yeah, I'd say random SvelteKit error. Let's see. Svelte releases 192. Like suddenly you'll notice that we've had like 1 million releases in the past 4 days. Not sure what happened exactly. But we are on 192 now. 192. Which fixed 2 hours ago when I started the live stream. Can you imagine if this is it? Probably not. Ah, I'm also using ban, I guess. It's maybe a problem. That could be it. If someone says Johnny was having problems, it's like, oh, they were using ban. The Svelte maintainers may shake their heads and be like, oh, of course, that's a problem. Yeah, it's bind this to a non-reactive property. Who is doing this? Why are they doing it? Unclear. Something we soon be editing. So yeah, feels like there is a Svelte packets problem. If I try like 194 quickly, it works. Okay. All right, so was it SvelteKit problems all along? Looks like it. 184 SvelteKit seems to work for me. And we can actually make it some of the way there. Interesting. All right, new agenda item. All right, we can try to get a bit further now and see if, not a real thing, we can make it here just fine. Perfect. So now let's see if we can make the new collection that we always wanted, which is agenda events, which you can see. Would you ever see just a single one? Probably not. But let's pretend you could. And it has a relation to a live stream here, and has a payload. JSON. Failed to create the collection. Yeah, so there are a couple things. Non-empty, cascade delete. There must be something else. There must be something weird happening. A combination of events. So I guess I'll just see as this stream, not meaning to go further, and we'll come back on Tuesday with something else. Peter, you're going to showcase a project on Svelte Society on the live stream. That's awesome. What project are you gonna show? This one passed 113 stars, by the way. Remember, this is a big project. And that's cool. Maybe I'll drop by. This one, yeah, you made it well past 100 since last time. It's not cool. I love it. Interesting. Bento grids have been very popular. Like Apple likes doing the this one for quite a while. Like in the center they have Apple Intelligence, and then they have, you know, the small things left and right. Like this is probably my favorite, the one that has like the chunky one in the middle. Does it have it for everyone? This one not as pleasing, but still fine. And it suggests the Magic UI one. This one, cool. This feels like so drag and drop droppable. Maybe I should upgrade my how to load data with SvelteKit. Have a very large screen. Yeah, it's wide. It's wide. Nice. Sign UI, this one I've seen quite a lot. Border beam, I like the name. This vibe reminds me of the Football is Life from Ted Lasso. Nice. Yeah, animations for the hero section are key. So ripple effect. Let's see. Let's have a look. Nice. Do you tap? I was trying to think, like the Angular was doing this thing early on, where if you tapped on the button on the point where you tapped, would have the ripple, but it's still pleasing even if it happens from like a center point. I guess like you could make something that tracks your mouse cursor or something, or where you last tap, and then position the ripple effect where you want. Like this component, instead of being something that has ripple. Oh, this looks awesome. Like I could never suggest improvements. I guess since we're here, I would say that I'm trying to tap. I'm trying to click here or tap, and it would be cool, not in the original component, but ripples where you click or where you hover type of example would be neat. So you register the mouse cursor position when the user has tapped, and that's where you position the container component. But without telling when you'd need to like inline style X and Y, I guess. That may be neat. So the moment you click, that's where the ripple starts coming. Maybe. But there are like so many cool ones, I couldn't even begin to suggest which one you want. All of these would be awesome for a hero section. So that is to the next one. If I figure out why this ain't working for me, I will add one in the next tab. Let me know if you have one in particular that you'd want to showcase, because these are really cool. Maybe I should do like a... one of the apps that I'm thinking about is about songs in a specific beats per minute or danceability or something like that using the Spotify API, which would be quite neat. And this one, like I can see Meteor kind of working with that sort of app for sure. Yeah, very nice. Have fun in the stream. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. Let's glue again. All right. And if you've got people saying, "Oh, this is the one that I really like," extend that one. It's always nice. No issues. Perfect. Perfect library. Well done. I agree. I've started, of course. Nice. Cool. So, what did we do today? Not much, if we're gonna be honest. I did scaffold this up before the stream even, and created a collection to list all the live streams in PocketBase. That was fine. We can do the detail view here, but then things started glitching. Some of them feel like Svelte related. Also the hot module replacement or hot reloading or whatever you want to call it wasn't quite working, but also the migrations that we want to make with a specific table to do event sourcing didn't quite work. So I'll have to check it out offline and see if it's ever going to work for me and if it's still interesting enough to do a live stream about. Or else there are other thoughts on what we should be doing next. It's been a while since we've done an AI focused live stream, maybe working with the Vercel SDK, and I'm excited to show the citations, citation-based responses. We've shown before, maybe a year ago, where we had generative Q&A functionality in an older site, in the older Zonify, where you could ask a question about how do you do animations in Tailwind, for example. And it would go through my video transcripts to answer. And it was okay. It was using Postgres and PG vector search for that one. But now there are some other tools that you can hook into your ChatGPT or other LLM and have that tied to a corpus of your work and then pull the information from there. So I'm excited to see if that's going to be a better approach or just a handier approach, more cost-efficient approach. The other one was a bit clunky, needing a super-based GitHub action in order to transcribe the markdown into something that that could easily be translated to vector embeddings that you can put in Postgres and then have your AI model search through them. It was kind of complicated. So I am looking forward to see if that's any better, the new approaches. I'll study up on that and see if that's interesting enough. We also have more stuff to do with PocketBase, including graphs. We haven't done graphs and stats and numbers and all of that. So maybe that's a suggestion there. People love graphs. Graphs are hard, to be sure, but even Satien has graphs here, and they aren't really doing anything with like real data or anything like that. But maybe something cool with getting some data points, like some graphs to appear up. Maybe maybe that would be cool. I think people would like that, even if it's mostly smoke and mirrors. So a way for bar graphs, I guess, to be cooler is what I'm trying to say. Would be neat in an animation library. So those are two ideas. I mentioned the Spotify integrated music playlist, running playlist, dance playlist app idea that we may do, which will also be an in for more graphs. So those are some of the things we could do. Always suggest more in the comments or in the Discord, and I'll do my best to do better next time. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. I am excited to talk about event sourcing in different live streams. Maybe this specific combination of something that's so good because it's so simple, PocketBase, with event sourcing, which is kind of complicated, wasn't a good idea after all. But I didn't want to do just a classic to-do thing today. It didn't work out. It wasn't in the cards. I hope you have an amazing evening. I will do my best to have one regardless, and an even more amazing weekend. And again, let me know what you'd like to see for Tuesday. Thank you very much for spending time with me, and especially the people in the chat for keeping me extra special company. Thanks again, and to everyone, have a lovely, lovely evening. See ya!